save the day.
Welcome back to Retro Wednesday at the Tiger Hangar. This is Mike. Today I want to talk to you about the 1987 Cobra Mamba from the Real American Heroes G.I. Joe toy line. Although this wasn't featured in the cartoon, I believe, I still think it's a really cool vehicle. It's quite interesting. It's when the Cobra started coming out with a lot of these really strange vehicles. Now it does sort of somewhat match a real world vehicle, but it has such a crazy sci-fi flair on it, and it is really interesting. But we're going to get into talking about this. We're going to do the lightning round of all of the features and have some fun on this. But one fun thing about this was that I ended up trading this to a friend of mine. I had gotten a lot of stuff, trade this to a friend of mine. Down the road, I bought his collection back, and he had started piecing it together, so I finished piecing it together, and we're going to talk about this and more coming up. Features include laser-enhanced HUD head-up displays on the canopies. It comes with 2 of the Serpentor 9mm rapid rate-of-fire machine guns. Thrasher layered epoxy counter-rotating rotors for some good sweet scissor action. Comes with 2 of these detachable Molt Mamba offense light tactical attack pods. 2. Has 4 of these mini Nemesis anti-tank mini missiles. 4 of these Diablo supersonic air-to-air missiles. Right about that is the laser ranging target designation computer. Titanium alloy dual rotor heads. Yes, titanium alloy is red. TurboTox N58 turbo shaft engine. Very nice. And a cover. Smash sensor system. The Mamba air suppression and heat reduction, noise elimination, and exhaust. Flared support fuselage tail section. And it's long. Real long. That is what she said. Vertical horizontal stabilizer rudders with Cobra decals. So there's a lot to this thing, and I have to say that the lightning round is a lot of fun, but there are a couple of features that weren't included on that. So we're going to start with the ones we didn't include there and just kind of look at everything and how it goes. So first of all, I do want to say there's this ginormous missile or just bomb on the bottom here, and you push this and it drops it. And it's kind of cool how you have these parts in here that spring-loaded that holds it in place. But this really does add a lot to this. But it's cool too because it looks like it's got a peg you could peg it in. But you connect it like this and hold it in place. Now you're going to see that all of these weapons, all these missiles here, have these kind of strange looking shape to them. So there's like a forward-facing tips on it. We also have these over here, which I didn't talk about. And when you push this, it depresses it. Now this is not a very good function. It really is hard to make this work properly, and I see a lot of these break. So you're supposed to push on this and it pops this out. But if you've got it plugged in real good, it doesn't want to come out. Let's see if the other side does it easier. Alright, we're going to try to do it on this side. And see, I'm pushing down on it, but it don't want to come out. Now maybe I should position it the other direction. But that's not the way I believe it's supposed to go. Heck, it's even just hard to get out by pulling it out. That's crazy. So even if you insert this one on in the other direction, it's not going to work. So this is it's an interesting idea, but it doesn't work. Still, all these bombs and missiles, there's so much going on with this thing, and it is pretty cool. But some of the other missiles fall off really easy. So that's kind of one of the frustrating parts about this, is that some of the things work really well, some don't work at all. Alright, so let's go down this list of features, and the first one they talk about is the laser enhanced HUD head display, where basically it's a sticker that they have on here, and it does look pretty cool that they have this targeting sensor, and there should be one on each of these, and that is very interesting. It's a lot of fun. Now some of these decals of mine, this isn't the greatest condition. This one is not going to be the best one you see on the YouTubes or out there, because this is kind of a joint project between myself and my buddy Philip. And with that, I really didn't want to put a whole lot of money into it. Neither did he. And between the two of us, we kind of have this thing sort of completed. And I got a couple of extra of the pilot, so that's kind of fun too. But that's cool there. Let's go ahead and pull out a Gyro Viper. Now, I have 3 Gyro Vipers, so one in each cockpit. It makes a lot of sense to me. It doesn't make sense to leave it empty, but I guess it would make sense if you maybe stick another character like a Cobra Commander jumps in there or something. Gyro Viper. Cool looking figure. I think he is a little bit bland, but he is a pilot, and he looks like sort of like a real world pilot. He has his helmet on. Now the helmet is really hard to get on and off, and I do believe that the helmet scratches a lot of paint. Opening these cockpits, feel like you're going to break that clear plastic. But here's one that doesn't have a helmet, so it's nice to see. But as you can see, the paint is like tears his face up, or the helmet tears the paint off the face. I get that in there, so I'm sure underneath his face isn't all that great either. But they do have this sticker or decal right here on the leg, which is quite interesting. And they do look like they might be wearing a parachute or something with their jumpsuit there. But cool looking figure overall. Gyro Viper, a lot of fun. Inside this pod, there's some decals on the inside here that show kind of some controls. There is I don't know if it even shows, I don't have enough light on it. There's a spot to plug his back into there. So if you stick your figure in, then he can hold in place instead of shifting around. You plug his back into there, and then that will ensure this does close, and there's plenty of clearance. In order to get one of these Molt attack pods off, it sounds like you break it to get it off, but you have to unclip it from here. So it kind of goes in, pull down, and pull it out. And it's kind of crazy. That is not something that I really enjoy doing. And so with that, it was not fun. Now, you do have two of these missiles on here, and they call these the Nemesis anti-tank mini missiles. Now, they just clip in with these little tabs, which is kind of cool. And man, these are in good. I don't see how they fall out. They're in good. And you can clip them on either side. And if you want to have extras and put it on there, it actually won't fit up in there. But I guess you can tuck them underneath there. But you have two on this side on this pod, and then two on the other side on the other pod, and that's how that works. And it's pretty cool. And I do like having an extra pod because I don't like disconnecting them. So I just have an extra pod just because. And with that, disconnecting them feels like I'm going to break it. And then let's put it back on and see how that ends up going. Putting them back on. Let's see how that works. And how's that sound? Oh my goodness. Probably every bit as bad as getting it off was. There it is. Now it's back on, and then try to keep all your missiles still attached. These Diablo air-to-air missiles, there are 4 of them, 2 on each side. One connects to the side with a dog bone, and one connects to the top with dog bone. And they don't hold on that well. It seems like every little thing knocks them off. They are kind of cool, and do have these forward-facing tip pieces, which is quite interesting, and it is a design that you see with all these missiles. Now I want to pop off this rear exhaust piece and take a look at it. It's 4 exhausts, and then there's this weird little piece up top, which I see a lot of them missing that piece right here. I don't know what it's for, but maybe that is all of the stuff that's in one of the descriptions there. So I know that this is an exhaust, but then there's more going on with this piece. I see this missing a lot, or I see that part broken off if it's on one of these. But tracking it down, I mean, it's not as hard to get these days as it was a couple years ago when we were trying to complete this. But cool piece, adds a little bit of an extra detail to the vehicle. Now for the main gimmick, and I gotta say, this is the coolest part about it, and the coolest part is that you turn this knob, turn up my knobs, and it spins the rotors, but it does not spin them very fast. Now my understanding is everyone's, this day and age, is about like this. Maybe it spun a little faster early in the day, or when it was brand new out of the box. Maybe if you get a brand new one out of the box, it'll spin faster than this, but don't expect it to go much faster than this. But that's some slow motion, scissoring action. Yeah. I was a little underwhelmed when I finally got it all put together, and I couldn't get it to spin faster than that. First introduction to the Mamba was just a shell and nothing on it. And so I was looking at this, how long the tail end was and how big it was. It took up a lot of space. And it was one of those things, that's why I wanted to trade it off, because it didn't have a lot of parts for it. But this tail end is just really long. And part of that makes it look kind of cool. The fact that it is so long. And G.I. Joe is known for big vehicles, big play sets, big everything. And this thing, it takes up a lot of space because it's so long, and it's pretty cool. And really, it's all one molded piece. All that purple from here to back here. There's really no way to break it down to be any smaller for storage. It's just a big, long vehicle, no matter what you do with it. Now, getting back here to the tail, these pieces here kind of clip in. I don't know if they pop out very easy. No, they're in good. But no, I say that, and one's probably going to come right off. Yeah, there, comes right off. Kind of an altered clip section to hold it in, so that's kind of cool too. Get it back in there. Stay on. I don't want it falling off. But those fins add a little bit of color to it, and I do like the color scheme overall. I do like the purple on black with the red, clear, and all of that. Lastly, the main cockpit here is really hard to get your figure in, and I find that if you turn him over, he does fall over. You can close this, but it just does not latch in. Maybe the tip of this might be broken off of mine or something, but it doesn't seem to hold it closed very well. But overall, still, it's an impressive look to this vehicle to have 3 cockpits. Alright, for comparison, it is next to the Dragonfly. You can see that it is kind of long like the Dragonfly, and it's kind of cool. It's a lot more colorful, more vibrant, and if you kind of get the tails matched up, it is still significantly longer than the Dragonfly itself, which is still quite interesting. The Dragonfly and this both have those long rear shafts that are just there for looks. They are not doing anything functionality. Anyway, it's still kind of cool, and in my mind, these are kind of similar competitors. Here it is next to the Fang 2, which carries a similar color scheme and looks really cool. It's a whole lot of fun. I didn't know they even made this till my buddy Philip hooked me up with it, and I kind of like that little vehicle. And of course, here it is next to the Whale. You can't beat the Whale. The Whale is still my favorite vehicle out of all of G.I. Joe, but this is still really cool. I'm not going to take anything away from the Mamba. So this was my quick look at the Cobra Mamba. This is something I did not have as a kid. This is something that I thought was a strange vehicle, but I think it is really cool. It's one of the more interesting designs coming out of 1987 before they got too wild and out there and too neon. This isn't even into the neon phase yet. And I love purple, so I'm A-okay with it. And I think that this is a fun vehicle to have. And if you've never picked one up, they're actually quite reasonably priced on the secondary market these days compared to 2 or 3 years ago, that's for sure. So let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Like and subscribe. Tydirium Hanger out.
As G.I. Joe. Not to worry, though, Commander. I have a special surprise waiting for them. Excellent. Proceed at once.
But here's the Cobra Mamba.
Cobra Mamba, its power is frightening. Out of the blue, it strikes like lightning.